Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to today's episode of the official Ark podcast number 229. My name is Coach Mistletoe, and I'm here live with the core team. Your host for tonight, as always, the one and only Mr. Atlas. Please take it away, sir.
Thank you for the introduction. And folks, welcome to another edition of the ARK Daily Podcast. This is Saturday, June 17th. We've had a great day here. A lot of work has happened during the week. We have two working products. That is the on-ramp as well as the off-ramp, primarily the Air card. In its both versions, Visa, MasterCard. It is not at a point where we are yet ready to release it, as there are front-end small parts in the configuration explaining to the users which way they can order their card. Is it going to be anonymous? Do they want to use their real information? Are they using it for online purchases, where they're going to have to make sure to save the information, especially if they're using an anonymous name, address, phone number. So when they go to purchase online, they have to put the same data. If their interest is primarily to use the card or adding them to their phone wallet and purchasing gas, going to stores, supermarket, daily use, and they have no intentions to use it for online purchases, payments, that information is not going to be so important for them to have. So we need to expand. We need to convey this message, I think, in a very clear way, so that there's not confusion. And when you're dealing with a product that's for mass public consumption, everything should be very detailed so that everyone can make the best decision and they can choose the best product for what they're using. As we've been updating you all week, we had Alex, our front-end developer, pretty much working till the last minute before he went on his vacation with the family. And, we do have to give him a huge shout out. I mean, the guy's gone above and beyond. Sleep has been a commodity here. Not a security, a commodity. Inside joke there, but a shout out really to our good friend, Alex. We took it all the way down to the wire. And unfortunately, it is not in a condition that we want to open up to the public. If we did test it, it would be with very few select investors. I don't think I'm even comfortable to put it to the legacy NFT holders in a secret DAO. There's about 140 people in that group. That's 140 folks that, if they're not being guided and I think explained everything exactly, then there could be some confusion, and we don't want to create a bottleneck of customer support and confusion that's happening. So far, I think the next couple of days, we're going to continue some testing with this few select folks, get the feedback, and that way, when Alex comes back, we're going to have all of the variables, all the scenarios, all the things that we found that we want to improve on, and how we want to organize the whole flow that's happening. One of the issues I found, for example, was we have a random generator for a name and address, and one of them, through our testing yesterday, was India, the country of India. Shout out to India. In the system that we're using, the option for the country of India from our provider, it's not there. They don't have India. So there we have, for example, just one of the little things. So we need to really take a look at the list of the countries that are provided. And again, that doesn't mean that you can't use the card in India. You absolutely can. It's just that we're working with a third-party provider that has their own system. So we have to adapt to that. So that would be a customer support issue where the person's saying, hey, you've auto-generated for me this anonymous identity to get the card, but there's no place to put it when I'm actually issuing the card. So find little details that make a huge difference. And I hope that that explanation gives you an idea of the small details, because the product is working, that could make an effect. In that situation, for right now, what we did, since it was generated, we used different information. We didn't use India. You could literally put anywhere else you want. There's other restricted that are not on the list. But what I'm trying to convey here is that the information is not important, the where. But we have to explain that, or we have to do that on the D-app and be able to let folks know that they have those options. So sorry to get a little bit carried away with all that. I'm going to let Brett Nordin come in and also share his perspective. After that, we'll take a look at what's happening on the Ark. But let's take care of this, because I know a lot of folks have been waiting for an update. What's happening? Are we launching? What's the status? Go ahead, Brett.
Yeah, I think you pretty well covered it. I think we don't want to, launch something that's going to create more questions than answers, and make sure that we have the flows detailed out in a way that people can make a choice as to which card they provide. And as you mentioned, we have two different flows really, and two different products ultimately. The MasterCard is the global card, and that one has different limits, and there's set numbers that you can select for loading the card. So $50, $100, and $150, $250, $500. Whereas with the Visa card, it's up to $5,000. And so there's some just nuances between the two. The Visa card also is US only.
10,000, Brett.
Oh, 10,000. Sorry. You're right. Yep. That did increase.
Canada. That won't work for the folks that are looking global, but there are some workarounds to that too. So again, another thing that we can bypass, but we have to convey that. So please continue. Just want to make sure that we said the 10,000.
Yeah, you're right. Yeah, thank you for correcting me on that. I know the original was 5 and it's been increased, so that's great. But yeah, there's just little nuances, and as we were going through it, and even the webpage and the way it's laid out in the same way, is it seems like, or it flows as if it's one product, but at the end of the day, the two are really, for the Air Card, ends up being two separate products. We need to make sure we steer the end users in the right direction. They don't end up with the wrong product. I think it's relatively clear once you get it and you see it and you go, okay, I'm a global customer, or no, I'm not. I can use the US card, and that's my preference. And so it's not a huge deal, but I think we can really knock it out of the park. I mean, the user interface that we have now even is, I think, 10 times better than any of the ones I've seen or attempted to use in other places that have a much lesser product and a terrible customer experience, to be honest. Sort of this black box, you just put your money in and wait, and you don't really know what's going on. So I think with our product, it's amazing. We just need to make sure that we are very clear as we open this up to larger audiences that come to experience the Ark for the first time, that we make a great impression. And we can steer them then, if we do that effectively, we can steer them into our other opportunities that, the Vault, the Foundation, Legacy NFTs. So we really want to make sure we don't sort of taint a wonderful product with a poor experience. And so that's kind of where my head's at. Is I'd rather have Alex in the room when we do a more public level launch, spend the week opening it to a limited number of users, allowing them to give us all the feedback and maybe some ideas on how we can describe it in a way that's going to make it really effective and easy to use. And then when Alex gets back, have that list, as you mentioned, so that he can sort of just knock that out, get it to a point where we feel, 95% confident that it's going to address all the possible scenarios or questions that people have as they're selecting the different cards, and then release it. And with him there at the keyboard, we know he can do special things while people are just providing that real-time feedback. So I think that's going to be a great way to sort of push this thing out. The on-ramp, on the other hand, we could see that early this week. We know that we're letting the bank do their final audit review and as well as testing. and we can actually flip that switch on our end, I believe. And Crypto Yon's able to do that. Alex has gotten to this to a point where that is a viable and a product that we could push out Monday, Tuesday. So stay tuned for that. We have marketing things ready and elements ready to go for that. I don't know if you had any updates on that, Atlas, but I know that we were waiting because the bank doesn't work on the weekend, so we really don't have any direct feedback on that. But I'm hoping Monday, Tuesday, they finish what they need to on their end, and then we're able to, flip that switch and make that live early this week.
Yeah, that is correct. We're supposed to come in with it finalized for go live on Friday. However, they didn't. We did do a go live, and we did a lot of testing, but there are some components from their end that we still need to implement. So they told us, at least they said it early, early in the morning. We already understood. Okay, it's not going to be today. Let's continue with the air card. Let's continue with the provisions that are happening with the on-ramp product, understanding that we're going to leave it in a position that once they're done, as you said correctly, we just flip the switch and it's ready to go. On our front end, everything is so far as we've tested, it's solid. So we can ramp that up. We could do some testing. Again, maybe get the legacy NFT folks to take a crack at it. That product is pretty much ready for prime time once it is connected. And if there's any little issues, you could just flip the switch off. We don't get any egg on our face with a wide audience immediately. You want to go slow. So yeah, let's see how that goes this week. It should be hopefully in the first couple of days.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah, that one seemed pretty solid, and when we tested it and the flows and everything, that worked really well. So yeah, it's just some final things that they need to finish up on their end and give us the green light, and we are able to, as you said, flip the switch and go live, and we could release that to the DAO as well. I think that might be a good idea, and then roll that out in a bigger way as long as we're confident, after 24, 48 hours.
Yes, sir. Looking forward to that. Thank you for the update, Brett. And let's go ahead and take a look here real quick, see what's happening with the stats of ARK. We have our MVP. We're going to be doing our Spark rewards as well. Oh man, it's happening again. They'll get into green screen on our stats. Let me go ahead and take a quick look at it. That should be right over here.
I don't know if it's me, Atlas, but your volume is lower than Brett's. Again, it might just be me, but I'm having a hard time hearing you.
Okay, is that better?
It's the same for me as well.
Is that any better, folks? Or wait, I had turned it down because it sounded a bit too loud to me before.
That sounds better.
Okay, is that better, sir?
Yeah, thanks.
Okay, thank you. Yeah, we want to level it out so everybody can hear good sound quality. Okay, so total ARK Vault accounts are 5,456. Liquidity on PancakeSwap, 193,655. BUSD IOC reserves are at 256,871 BUSD. ARK price is $1. Spark price pool 738.26 ARK. And today we'll find the 226 Spark prize winner. We'll do it live here, folks. The MVP will receive 10% of the Spark prize pool. Their wallet ends in D2A3. They've brought in one referral with $430.51. Number two position, they've brought in $404.58 with two referrals. Very close, just a $26 difference there on that one. But before we go ahead and do the Wheel of Toad, let's open it up. Let's see if we have any questions regarding the updates, the information. I know it's a lot of information to take in, and everyone has their hopes up to be able to launch the products as soon as possible. So if anyone has a question or comment, this is the time.
I just wanted to add one more stat, Atlas. The total NFT holders is now 523, which is up pretty big in the last week.
Sheesh. What the fuck? That's a lot. Boy,
Yeah.
Last time I think I had checked, we were like maybe 360. I mean, it's a couple weeks back. I didn't look at the total number.
Yeah, I mean, we crossed when we launched the LSA, we crossed 500 pretty quickly, but now I think within the last week or so, we've at least added 20 or more new NFTs. So we're really starting to churn those out. And I see people talking about that in the Secret DAO, how they're stacking and everybody's, sort of stretching into the LSA. And once they start an account, they can't stop. So it's sort of a self-fulfilling prophecy as far as once you make the commitment, there's no going back. So it's a great little game theory applied to that, but it's really turning out exceptionally well, I think.
Alice, I just want to double check. Did I hear you correctly? Did you say the air card supports $10,000 for Canadians too?
Yes, US and
What?
Canadians.
Oh,
On a simple load.
Canada gets short on the stick usually when it comes to that stuff. So that's awesome.
Yes, sir. And you can have it mailed to you, an anonymous card with up to 10K. But again, that's another feature. They can only mail it out to Canada and US. So if you
Let's go.
want to go that route, that's why I can tell you it's a bit complex breaking this all down. I'm kind of foreseeing maybe like a sort of like an Excel spreadsheet, but without all the lines, where it's showing you this feature with a little X, or check mark, ship internationally or ship USA and Canada. And then by just looking at that graphic of the products, what the fees are, what the limits are, and your ability to shop online, add to your wallet. Would you need to use your real phone number? Would you not need to use your real phone number? All these little details, kind of like when you're looking at a website and you can see you've got the free product, you've got the first tier paid, medium cost, and then you've got like the Jesus version, right? That has all the bells and whistles, and then you can go down the list and you see why it is superior. What are the other benefits? But in this, it's not, I think, so much about superior. It's just about what works for your needs, what you want to do with it. Where's your location? How do you want to use it? Is it mainly for online? You want to pay for Amazon Web Service? There's also another important fact. We have to be very transparent. These cards, they will, and also our Terra cards, they will not work for 3DS purchases. We've talked about this before. They're 2D. So when it's a type of purchase or website that wants to send your bank a notification so that they can confirm through a text message or notification in your banking app to prove that it is you, these products will not apply. That also has to be very well explicitly said so that there's nobody that comes back, unsatisfied. So we have to find the right way to convey that. But yes, sir, to answer your question, I think you got a lot more than your question answered there. But another great opportunity to add a little more information, which we're all going to need. There's going to be a lot of folks coming in here asking those questions. So the more efficient we are. Go ahead.
I'm almost wondering if we should split. And I think one of the things we're struggling with is the way that the flows are set up right now is the air card is really a single product in the mind of, in our mind in the beginning. And it's really turned into, as we've gotten to the nuances, as you mentioned, almost two different products. Maybe we should introduce air card, vapor card, and then also Terra, and then the, as you mentioned, you can ship the vapor card, the US card, or US Canada card, you can have that shipped to you as a physical card. And then maybe that's the Pyro card, or, so maybe we need to, maybe take a little step back. It's not a big deal, but through the interface, maybe change that and make that a selection really where the air card is split into two separate flows, two separate products, instead of sort of managing that in a single UI as we are now. And then as you select MasterCard, that's really the global card. The Visa card is the US Canada card. So, those are the kind of things I think we need to think about a little bit, and maybe market them in two different ways. And they really do have, unique use cases and also limits and things like that. And the fact that you can ship a physical card for the US Canada, the Visa card, that's that's amazing. So, there's a possibility that we have a good, better, best, sort of scenario with the MasterCard, then the Visa, and then the Terra, being the real physical card. So yeah, and it won't take much to have us, adjust that, I think, and it might make sense to do that. But, we're obviously discussing that as we go here, but that might be something to think about.
Well, the products have improved. And we've
Mm-hmm.
had more options. See, when we first started and we did all the design and we did the whole flow, it was a more basic product with it, with its own, I would say, special features. But with that also, you remember that one, you had to get in a one-time password to add that device. This new product, you don't have that. That was a big hurdle. We had built the whole back end. So, because if you didn't have a US or Canadian phone number, you couldn't add the card to your phone if you're in France, Germany, China. It was, if you didn't have a US phone number, that was a key. Didn't matter where you were, you just needed a US. So we provided that number. We created this whole system, but through the creation, the product has improved. I mean, now to a point, folks, that you're even having 5% cash back. There's some alpha for you at Crate and Barrel. Okay, and some of these other stores,
the retailers,
yeah, that's already included. So it's improved, and that's improved. We have to be able to show the difference between the products, and then it's like, what's the first question? Where are you located? But if you're global and you have a US phone number, or you don't have a US phone number, it doesn't matter. You could still do that, but you're not going to be able to get the card shipped. So tiny little details that are great when you have Alex sitting here in the sausage room, right, working with us and being able to adjust and supply things as needed. But it gives us an opportunity to offer the better product. And there's more, as Brandon likes to say. We're going to be getting in about 3 to 4 weeks another product as well.
That's something it's something to kind of keep in mind here, is that the bank that we're working with has a whole roadmap themselves that's ever expanding, and that's how we ended up with this newer, improved product, because they had feedback. Obviously, they have other customers, but they had feedback as well regarding the initial product and the limitations, of that, and the pains that we were going through with the phone numbers and the one-time password. So they were able to overcome that. And in doing that, it made the product better, but it switched things up on us a little bit. But that's okay. But yeah, they have a full suite of products and things that we can eventually roll out. We just got to get this launched and get moving on it and stay lockstep with them, because they have some really exciting stuff coming down the road.
And there's other banks and there's other providers that are involved, that are in the mix. So it's not going to be just one cookie cutter or two or three. We're going to have a suite of different products with different providers, also diversifying on that end. If one of these, let's say, partners were to, for whatever reason, go down, we don't want to be stuck. We want to have a second, a third, a fourth. That's what we're also working on, a secondary and a third option for on-ramping. The card didn't work in the first one. Oh, no problem, sir. We've got a second one. That one's KYC. That one's a little more intrusive, but there's a 100% conversion rate when someone takes out their credit card, for example. That would be our hope, our holy grail. But let's say there's a 90%. So you start with the easy product that's not intrusive, and that doesn't work. You got the second. And if that one, then you have one that does. So that we are really able to service everyone. Make sure that if you have a friend, a neighbor, James at the water cooler, he wants to get in, his Bank of America or his Chase didn't work in the system, which, by the way, we do have some information that we'll be providing as soon as the on-ramp is launched, of some information not to use VPNs, make sure that you're really using the same IP where you're banking and everything's, really happening so that you're not going to be flagged. There's also some institutions and banks that will not work with this, provider that we have right now. So understanding that there are short hurdles, we don't just want to stop there. We want to go further and ensure that everyone has an opportunity. Thank you for that, Brett. I believe Florida Realtor wants to say something, sir.
No, I was just trying out. I have a little monocaster, little mixer board, and I was just pushing my cheering button to see if it would come on when y'all were dropping some alpha. So obviously it didn't work at that time. So that's all. I'm just trying out my little keyboard.
You want to give it another shot? Try it again?
I just did, and it didn't work. I just did, and it didn't work. So I'm trying to feel this out a little bit. So I'll see if I can get it working for later on.
Well, Mistletoe's really good with audio gears and.
Oh yeah, he spent a good bit of time the other day with me on things. We just got me a new computer ordered. It'll be here next week, but we went through all this stuff a little while ago. So,
Nice.
big help the other day and today. In fact, I was just talking to him. He helped me select the right computer. So, big help on that.
That's man. Let's go. Hey, that's what it's about. Tap into these resources, the white gloves. These guys are fantastic. We were in here actually a couple hours during the day, going over, doing some sound testing and trying different things out with OBS. It was a party. Even Chris Dugan was hanging out today while we were doing that on the main chat. So anyone else, questions, comments, folks?
Yeah, I got a question.
Go ahead.
So to go along with, like you were saying, Atlas, how we're going to have like a couple different options like that when it comes to the on-ramp. I'm not going to name any names, but there's a protocol earlier that came out with their fiat on-ramp. And basically, they had it where in the United States, they had there was I don't know if it was 2 or 4 states that it wasn't going to be able to work in. And one of them was New York. So I'm just guessing that maybe with these different options that we'll have the option, even if it comes across there's certain states that they're not going to allow the on-ramp to work in, will we have that option in states like New York?
That's the idea, to ensure that we have redundant, backup options so that we're able to get everybody taken care of. And then convey that as well. Hey, if you're in this state, if you're using this bank, we don't want to waste people's times, right? We want to make sure that we're being effective, but all of these take time to develop. So we're going to start with what we have, and then we're going to expand and get a couple more options in place. Anyone else? By the way, Crypto Unlimited, Johnny Fawcett, what time is your stream today?
6 p.m. We're going to go on right after the podcast. I'll be sending out the links. If anybody wants to join us, feel free to do so. I think Mistletoe's got the video, so you can post that in chat. And it should be a good one. I had one person check in already, Bitey's Dips. So I believe he's going to be joining us tonight, and Jishan will be joining us. And I'm trying to get the usual crowd, the usual suspects will be on tonight. We'll have a good discussion.
All right, sir. You heard it here first. And I was a spectator last Saturday. I'll probably be a spectator again today, but it was awesome. Great crew, great people, passionate about Ark, very, very bullish. Seeing the whole big picture here. So anyone else, question, comment? Well, Mistletoe, that is your cue.
All right. Everyone able to see the screen there?
Real quick, Mistletoe, before we get started, the thing about the pinning and unpinning, we want to be aware of it. What's going on with my screen
Can anyone confirm? So are you guys able to see the wheel like in full screen?
Yeah, so basically Atlas's screen has gone to the bottom, to the top right of my screen, and yours is sort of taking center stage.
And now it's 2, right?
Yeah,
On my
it's
screen, it's 50-50 split.
Okay.
Like it's
And now it should be Coach, you see, or Brad, you see it, right? It's now full screen.
no 50-50.
Oh, weird.
how's it 50-50 on yours? On mine,
I
it's sort
see
of
full screen.
I am
see
pinned
full
mine.
screen.
When it's
Mine's
mobile,
50-50, but if you touch one of them, it makes that take over the full screen. You just have to tap the one you want to see full screen.
Are you
Oh,
two
I
on
see
mobile?
Mobile.
I'm
Hey,
on
on the
PC and
computer, it's full. On the
bigger with the
computer,
wheel.
it's full screen.
I think it's a mobile versus PC thing.
Yep.
so I
Okay,
am pinned
well-
mine, Mistletoe. And I think I can pin yours. Let me see what that does. So pin.
It says mine is pinned, but
Mine is unpinned. All right. Well, we'll do further testing on that. Sorry to
perfect. No, it's okay. It's definitely good to get that out of the way. I know there's been a couple times where I've looked at the podcast and yeah, it's like a mini screen or it's half and half. So definitely good to catch that. But yeah, for those that don't know what is going on here, you might be new to the podcast. It's your first time. Welcome. This is the All Aboard giveaway. We do this every single day during the podcast. To get involved, it's very simple. Every day after the podcast, we post a new sweep widget link that'll be shared in the main chat. It'll be posted in the contest and giveaway topic, as well as the announcements channel. Do be sure to join the announcements channel, just /announcements in the main chat, and keep up to date with all of the good stuff. To get involved, all you have to do is click on that link. You'll be redirected to a task list. It's going to range from liking and commenting some YouTube videos, clapping up some Medium articles, retweeting some Twitter links, or even just visiting a website. It's very simple to get involved. Once you go through all of those steps, your name is going to pop up on this amazing wheel right here. And every single day, we are going to spin it live here on the podcast. If we land on your lucky name, you will win 50 ARK. Right now it's $1, so you'll win $50 worth of ARK, and that'll be airdropped right to your wallet at the end of the month. So it's very easy to get involved. Do please be sure to participate. Tell your friends that are in ARK. Even if they're not ARK, maybe you can get them involved in ARK and get them a vault account. It's only $10 for a minimum ARK account right now. So it's very easy to get your friends set up and get them in the wheel, get them involved. So yeah, it really helps the content creators push the algorithm. It really helps everyone here on ARK, raises the tide for all boats here. And yeah, it's happy days. So do be sure to enter. And without further ado, let's spin that wheel. And congratulations, Coin Builders TV TCNB, another one from the Coin Builders syndicate. You've won $50 worth of ARK, 50 ARK right to your wallet. Congratulations. They're on a streak. I think those guys have won 4 prizes this month. The Coin Builders TV group. Congrats. Alice, I think you are muted there.
Thank you, sir. Yeah, those guys are great. We were watching their videos the other night. They do a podcast every single day talking only about ARK, their journey. They're super bullish. It's in Filipino, but you can catch a couple of, English language like words.
Yeah.
We'll talk about it.
And they got the full soundboard just like you and everything. It's awesome.
It's art imitating art. It's amazing. They're definitely inspired by what we do here. They just bring their own flair and twist. If you haven't checked them out because it is fun to watch. Love those guys. So, all right, let's go ahead and release the Sparky. Ready, sit back, and let's see who the winner's going to be. 500 legacy NFT holders. Wow. plus the folks that are in foundation. So great time to definitely get in and lock in your eligibility for every day.
I see someone already coined a new phrase in the chat. Let's spend that crypto. Atlas, do we got any tunes tonight?
Is Brandon on? Just ask him to fill in.
Little beatbox session.
Why not?
Sparky. Come here, Sparky.
Feels like I'm waiting, like I'm watching you fall out. Dreams where I'm fading.
Seems like we have found a winner.
Oh, there we are. We have a winner. That's right. Their wallet ends in C294. They've won 673.47 ARK. They are first-time winner. And the daily MVP winning 10%. Their wallet ends in D2A3. They've won 74.83 ARK, folks. Congratulations. They are straight into the also important boost of the Nitro mode, folks. Sheesh. Easy peasy. Now let's turn it over to our very own crypto DeFi expert, the one and only Mr. Z.
Hello, hello.
Hello, sir. We hear you perfect, loud and clear.
Amazing, amazing. So the summer has finally arrived in the English shores. So I'm actually outdoor and enjoying the breeze. I'm gonna I can't be working inside or else the computers heat up. So just give me a second. Let's share the screen. We got some cool headlines today. Some bullish news, and that's why we're seeing good price action. Let me just share my screen. All right. I believe you guys can see my screen. And could you just, Mistletoe or Alice, could you confirm that you can see it?
Yes, sir. We do see it. And Mistletoe, is his screen full screen? I unpinned mine.
Yeah, it's full screen for me. It's
perfect. Thank you.
Okay, amazing. So yeah, today we saw some green candles. What I'm showing you guys here is a daily chart, not a 4 hours. So on the daily chart, we can kind of see sort of levels get hit. So we sort of took out a previous low at about 24 in the last couple of days, and whenever we sort of take out a low, we normally see a reversal pattern. And usually it technically happens. So we get up back to 26K. So we're back at 26.5K. And yeah, we could rally back up to maybe 27 and then maybe fall back down. I'm still critical on the price action. I think this is just a temporary pullback. I think we still go lower low because there's a bunch of things to update in the economic calendar. In the last couple of months, we've held down the interest rates this month, but there's a few more announcements for the 4th of July Independence Day, and then in that week there's going to be a bunch of other things that are indicators that are going to come out. So I think for now we stay at this price, but I think we're still looking to go lower. So that's what we see at the technical level. So we'll see how that sort of plays out. Now the reason you're seeing a bit of bullish reaction in crypto right now is because in the last day or so, we've had an agreement between the SEC and the U.S. courts. The U.S. courts and Binance, basically. So what the SEC did was they put out a TRO, which is a temporary restraining order on all Binance's assets. So they asked for a request, and basically the United States judge Amy Berman took the opposite stance and dismissed the SEC's request for the temporary restriction order, because that would have been bad for Binance, because that would have meant they couldn't sort of withdraw, so the customers wouldn't be able to withdraw, and basically that would have caused a bit of a bank run on Binance's liquidity pool. So fortunately, so it reads here. So Judge Jackson said on June the 14th she would prefer the parties reach an agreement on their own rather than have her rule. The sides reportedly reached an agreement on June the 16th. So we are pleased to inform you that the courts did not grant the SEC's request for a TRO and freeze of assets on our platform, which was clearly unjustified by both facts and the laws. So basically, an agreement got reached between the two. So the deal between the crypto exchange and the U.S. regulator also prevents any access of Binance's global officials to private keys of wallets hardware. So there has never been. So this is the other statement that that Binance made here. So it's pretty interesting to go. There has never been any evidence presented by the SEC concerning misuse of customer assets. In fact, the SEC's lawyer conceded in court earlier this week when asked by the judge that they have no evidence suggesting that any such thing had occurred. So it's bullish news on Binance's side. And I was waiting like I think a week to understand that, because I did see the TRO sort of assigned to the court case. I did read out the whole sort of alignment there, and yeah, it was a long read for the case study. And when I saw TRO, that kind of scared me as a crypto hodler, because if you freeze Binance's assets, they have like the biggest, largest sort of farms if you want to talk about virtual assets. So yeah, good news here, and I think that's what got price a little up. So that's one sort of bullish news that came out. Now we're going to talk a little bit about stable coins. So what happened in June 2021 was so a report came out this week that Tether in fact deactivated major crypto firms sort of assets, including MoonPay. So this report came out, and basically we've had a response from Tether, and what Tether sort of gave, like their insights are that we started a real strict sort of proceeding to like basically it's like KYC but for big institutes. So Tether, the company behind market-leading stablecoin Tether, has addressed concerns regarding its operational decisions. So according to documents released by the New York Attorney General, Tether reportedly deactivated approximately 29 accounts belonging to prominent cryptocurrency players in 2021. It appears that most individuals on the list had their accounts terminated for different reasons. So whilst the reasons for the account terminations were not disclosed, Tether reported by indicating that it was unwilling to comment on individual relationships. However, the company clarified that all individuals had undergone rigorous compliance checks during onboarding, as well as ongoing monitoring, as mandated by Tether's compliance policy. Among the deactivated accounts were MoonPay, BlockFi, CMS Holding, and Gallios Capital. So yeah, ultimately the involved parties. So this is from the past. Like this is nothing recent. This happened in June 2021. We're just seeing reports now. But then the parties eventually settled. So ultimately the parties eventually reached a settlement in which Tether agreed to pay a penalty of $18.5 million in halt trading activities in New York. Subsequently, media outlets, Coinbase requested NYAG to publicly disclose Tether's initial quarterly report under the Freedom of Information Act. However, Tether objected to this request, citing that the need of safeguarding its customers' confidential information from potential exploitation by malicious individuals. So yeah, this is something that happened in 2021. A pretty interesting case. But they've sort of it's coming out now, so it's pretty interesting to see what happens in the background. So that's one thing on Tether. The other thing in the news is the stablecoin BUSD. So BUSD falls to fourth position among stablecoins. After a dip of over $1 billion in the past 30 days, BUSD now sits at the fourth position in the market capitalization among stablecoins. So as of writing, BUSD market cap stands about 4.3 billion, down 29% from 5.54 billion on May the 18th. The stablecoin has been in downward trend since December last year, when its market cap topped 23 billion. So the decline in BUSD market cap parallels major developments surrounding Binance following FTX dramatic collapse in November 2022. So there was two things. It was one is sort of the Paxos sort of Wells notice that was reached for BUSD. That was one factor of people moving their funds to USDC and USDT, and then so there was a Wells notice that was sort of given, and then now we have to sort of Binance US thing. So it's still pegged at $1. It's just I think its market cap currently is 4.8 billion. So Circle's USD coin saw its market share decline from 34.8% in 2022 to 23%. market participants of BUSD plunged from 11.6% to 4.8%. So we normally see these kind of fluctuations depending on fundamentals. But yeah, that's the news there. BUSD falls to fourth. And I think that concludes my DeFi session for today. Thank you, guys.
All right. Can you guys hear me?
Mm-hmm.
All right, sir. Fantastic. Thank you very much for all of that great information, Z. Very educational. All right, folks, we want to thank everyone for coming out tonight to the Saturday podcast. I do want to give everyone a heads up that we're not going to have the recording tomorrow of the Crypto Badgers. Our good friend Max Power, he is traveling. He's in Africa, Zimbabwe at the moment. Pardon me. So we're going to be, I believe, Tuesday this week getting the Crypto Badgers update. So thank you for your patience. Looking forward to that great video. We'll find something else to get into tomorrow here on the podcast. Don't forget 6 p.m. EST over at the Crypto Unlimited channel, their live stream. They're going to be talking about everything ARK. Those folks are super bullish. They got a couple of great guests. I really enjoyed watching live last Saturday's stream. For the folks that are listening to the podcast, thank you also for your participation. Hopefully, you're getting your ARK podcast over in YouTube. It's so simple. It's so easy. Within 5 minutes, folks, of this podcast ending here tonight, you will see it's on YouTube. The chapters, so easy to get to every part of what we do here every single day. So we hope you're enjoying it through there. We found it educational as well as entertaining. And also, make sure to be here tomorrow, 4 p.m. EST, 8 p.m. UTC. Please take care of each other. Be good to yourselves, and we'll see you tomorrow.